So today we are going to be taking a much closer look at how the hips work in the backswing. So welcome back to a pretty cold and a pretty wet forest of Arden. We are on the 13th hole, and as we just said there in the intro, we're going to take a much closer look today at how the hips work in the backswing. And I'm going to give you a fantastic drill that you can do at home or at the practice facility, which are going to help you work on your hip movement. So in this particular video, you're going to learn about the movement of the pelvis in the backswing. You're going to learn about the tilts, the rotations, and how the hips will change their levels. And this is really important for you to make a really good solid turn in the backswing, and it's going to help with lots of things like ball striking, flight control, and even potentially a little bit of distance as well. Just before we get into that content, if you're new here, you're not a subscriber, I'd love you to join the community. It is absolutely free, and there's a clickable link down in the description box below. So to really highlight the hips, we're going to take an alignment stick and we're going to get you to put this through your belt loops, which is going to give you a really good visual for what your hips are doing through the swing. So as you can see, this is pretty much representing my hip. So if I was to increase the height of my lead hip, you'd see the alignment stick go up, and obviously if I rotate, you see the alignment stick move in this fashion here. So it's a great visual. So let's first of all just hit a shot with my 8-iron, then we're going to take a little bit more of a look at exactly what those hips are doing. So around about 160 yards into this 13th hole here, so I'm just going to hit a pretty stock 8-iron, and then we'll take a little bit more of a look. That's flying just a little bit right of the flag, which should be into the middle of the green as it is. And then when I look at that now, we can go through exactly what those hips are doing. So when we take a look at the setup, they're going to be fairly level. Now we'd like to see the lead hip generally a little bit higher, but to be honest, it's only going to be 1 to 2 degrees, so you might not even see that through a camera. It's only when we use kind of 3D that we can sense that. But when we take a look at the hips, and we'll take a look at the trail hip to begin with, this right hip, what you're going to notice is there's some rotation in there. Now hopefully you're all fairly comfortable with the fact that those hips are going to rotate. This alignment stick is going to be moving behind me as my hips rotate. But what you'll also notice from the front camera is as that hip moves behind me, it also starts to increase in height as well. That hip actually goes a little bit higher. So my trail hip is going to be moving behind me, and it's also going to be moving up as well. So with that being said, the lead hip is going to move very much in the opposite direction. It's going to move a little bit more in front of me, and it's actually going to be moving a little bit down towards the ground. So when we get to the top of our golf swing, we've actually got a significant amount of angle through those hips, where my trail hip is significantly higher than my lead hip. So what we're really saying here is if this golf club represented my hips, they're not rotating like this, which is on a level sort of plane, if you like. They're rotating like this, which is on an angled plane. And that's really important because that helps us in how we move our upper body. Our upper body needs to be on that same angle. And that's really important when the golf ball is on the ground. If the golf ball's out at eye level, then yes, everything can work around in this horizontal fashion. So when we take a look at what we tend to see from the amateur golfers versus what we tend to see from the better players, the elite golfers, the professionals, at the top of their golf swing, the amateur golfers tend to have not enough angle through their body. Their hips are too level and their shoulders are too level. In the elite golfer, we tend to see more angle through the body. The hips and the shoulders are more tilted. And this is, just one of the many reasons why, those golfers are, as we said there, they're elite. They're, top of the tree. They are the best out there because they move their body in a better way. Now we might see the golf club moving around the bodies in slightly different positions. We might see different looks in how the club moves, but you take a really good golfer and very often the body movement is excellent, and it's really important. So with something like an alignment stick, you can stand opposite a mirror, or you can even just video yourself like we've kind of done here, and you can just rehearse those movements and just start to appreciate how you're going to move those hips. Now, if this is a movement that you've maybe not done before, or it's something you're not particularly comfortable with, I would absolutely get rid of that golf club, because that golf club initially can be just confusing the whole thing. So we're going to take a starting position, good posture, hands across the shoulders, and as we rotate, this trail hip is going to move back and up, and the lead hip is going to move down and forward. And what that's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to make a rotation, but that's allowing me to stay more centered over the golf ball, and it's allowing me to create these good angles that we just mentioned in the hips and the upper body. Those things are going to help me get into a much more stable, loaded position at the top. And from here, it's going to be much easier for me to shift that pressure to that lead side, strike the ball well, but also deliver the golf club to the ball consistently, because our body is on the correct angle based on the golf ball being on the ground. So I really love this drill because I like drills that are both visual, which this one is, and also drills where you can actually hit golf balls whilst doing that drill, and you can do both of those in this. So let's go ahead and see if we can make a golf swing now with those things in mind. And that's probably going to land a very, very similar place to the first one, a little bit right of the flag, but should be giving myself a putt for a birdie. So if we can get the hips to move better, we generally get the things above them working better, which is the upper body. And that really helps us with arm structure at the top, club position at the top, and ultimately the things down at impact that we're really trying to control, the strike, you know, the angle of attack, the path, all those kind of things which really help us play this game to our high level. So allow me to stick through the belt loops. You can do some really good awareness work on your hips, get them moving better, get the ball striking better, and ultimately that's going to result in some lower scores, I'm almost sure of it. Thank you for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box down there. Let me know if you like this type of video and future videos you'd like me to do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and also share this video if you think there's someone out there who could benefit from the information contained in this video. Thanks for watching. We'll hopefully see you back here again soon.